Hello everyone, it's Larry, and this is a behind the scenes of the videos on my hard drive 13 intro, which, as you may have noticed, is real life stop motion kind of thing. I must be completely honest with you, I saw the Scott the Was You're Not an RPG Guy intro, and I just thought, oh my gosh, I want to do that. That's so cool. All I need is to cut our figures with paper and make a room background, and that's it. That would be so cool. So that's what I set out to do. I wrote a script, and after some input from the others, I made a storyboard, which was the plan for the whole intro, so that I knew what I would need to build and what I need to print. The joke about the Theseus gnomes replacing my computer was taken directly from a 4chan green text of all things, but I thought that concept was so funny, and I just love to play it straight as a thing that actually happened in this. Part of the plot of this was that the Theseus gnomes replaced parts of our body. This was meant to be in reference to our avatars changing from the old ones, which I figured I could retroactively have happen in this intro because videos on my hard drive 12, which had the updated avatars, didn't have a special intro, so I figured this could function as that. But in retrospect, I should have rewritten this because this took so long to come out that I think most of our audience were quite used to the new avatars, so it just didn't really make sense. It took so long, in fact, that Mads now has new hair, so it makes just even less sense, really. Oh well. I set about planning to make a model of my desk. I even made this scale reference so it'd be in scale with the characters, and some things other than the characters I printed as well. I had my own sticker cutter which I was using for the Larry's Lego channel, and I made a test cut of it with card cutting one of our figures, to test if it would be viable to have them standing on their own, and this one seemed fine, though over time it was clear that the card would start to flop over, and I figured if I'm filming for maybe hours, I need consistent shots. So I made an investment and bought a bunch of things, including some armature, which I used to support the models. And in some shots you can see it, but you know what, it's fine. That's how it's done, you can see it. Good for you. I also laser cut some acrylic at my university at the time. I made this intro quite a while ago. I bought some beads to build the gnomes out of. I got some felt for the curtains, some cylinder things and silver paint to make the chair and the table stands, and curtain rails as well. And of course I printed lots of prints, lots of paper. It's funny, I remember back in the day watching behind the scenes of Aardman animation stuff, and be like, whoa, there are so many of each character, and yeah, I got my own experience of that. I had to make so many for this intro for all the poses, yada yada yada, and I printed some black and white stuff for test cutting because you really have to fight the paper cutter to get it right. And eventually my first actual color print came out successfully, which was wonderful. So I went ahead and printed loads more. I used my animation setup to pose the characters in the poses that they would be in to print them out, but also I did draw a bunch of original drawings for some unusual angles in this intro. In fact, fun fact, this Larry holding his head with his arms was something I just drew for this, and later on I thought I should just make that for the animated avatars as well. And I did. So if you see any of the characters doing that pose, just know that was because of this intro animation. With all the characters printed and cut out, it was time to build the room and other props, which I asked Mads to help me with.
It was so easy to just pick these up and move them, but when there's glue on them, I just can't do it. I didn't doubt that it would stick on okay. It's just putting them on is so difficult.
Yeah.
We have a chair base.
Can they be bent slightly?
Oh my god, it's so flipping cute. The most basic materials, just with jewelry beads, with these bits of plastic that we painted with silver paint and cut. There we are.
You've done it.
Both are still in progress, missing the most integral parts.
Oh well. We'll get there.
We'll get there, yeah.
For the monitor bits that needed to be black, we just cut them out of wood or paper and just scribbled black Sharpie all over them.
It's so coming together. Look at that! It's a fucking monitor setup!
You've got your...
Yeah, and I can get the blue tack as well and stick on the... I'm so happy with it. The idea was in my head, but now that it's physical, it's something else.
Yeah.
That is just my actual death.
How the fucking cable goes.
Later on, I constructed the whole room. I'm sure it's not going to blow you away to find out that it's inside a big cardboard box. It's actually quite small when it's all together. I used one of my lights to light the whole top of the room and another outside the window, so it really looked like there was natural light coming from outside. You can't really see in this shot, but there is blue paper behind the window, so it looks like a bright blue sky, which, to be honest, I don't know why I did that. That's not realistic. We live in England. Cutting the window out of the box and putting it in, then putting the curtains in, made it really feel like an actual room, and I was so happy with it. And I did just use string for the wires as well. Annoyingly, I would go on to buy an actual camera not too long after that, but the whole thing was shot on a phone, and the whole thing took so much work, and I took down the whole thing afterwards, and I couldn't redo it. It would have been so much effort to redo it, so... Unsurprisingly, a lot of this consisted of letting the camera roll and moving bits and doing more of that. Annoyingly, I could really do this a lot better now, but I was also aware that there would be a bit of a trade-off with this, because the avatars are based on the digital avatars, which bounce up and down when everyone speaks, and I couldn't easily do that here. I wanted to have some life when people talk, so I tried bouncing them a little bit with some armature, and then cutting the armature out so that it would look like the characters bounce a little bit when they talk. It didn't work every time, but some of the times I did leave it in. The filming alone took 2 hours and was very tiring. And that's just the filming for this part. We're not done. So after filming that part, I figured the character reveal ought to be filmed in person with some cutouts as well. So I went back and I printed some of the other people who weren't in the actual intro. And I thought, well, if I'm going to do that, I should really make the names physical cutouts as well. And I manually drew in all the outlines. And you know what? It's a bit rough around the edges, but my excuse when that happens is, hey, at least it's a little charming, alright? It's a bit of human-made imperfection. I also printed and cut the bits with the title and the screen which says videos on my OneDrive, you know, the punchline at the end of the video, and also the paper scrolling screen. Doesn't look amazing, but I thought it would at least be a bit cute to try and physically do the digital stripy colors scrolling across the screen that's happened previously. And yeah, gosh, honestly, I kind of forgot I did all this. It's crazy that, like, you look back and don't really think about how all this has to be done to achieve something like that, but yep, it does. Funnily, I actually shot this long after I disassembled the room. You might be able to tell, actually, that is a real wall behind the desk and not paper. And as you can see, I am swapping each of the screens to manually stop motion the screen scrolling effect, which I was super proud of, and it's kind of a shame that it happens for such a little amount of time. But such is the reality of stop motion, really, and just animation in general, I suppose. By this point, I actually had my camera, but for the sake of consistency, I used my phone for this as well. And once all the characters and names are done, I used my white screen background, which I've used in Larry's Lego videos, and arranged them all, and then taken them away one by one so I could do some cool effects. And then yeah, that's pretty much all the actually filmed video stuff. There's a whole other layer, and that is the audio. With the script all written out, I got the others over, and we recorded the voice lines all on my microphone, with the exception of Luke, who did it from his own home. I sort of had no plan with the gnomes, so I kind of just recorded a bunch of my own laughters, pitched up, put loads of effects on it, and I think it does what it needs to do, honestly. I'm as happy with a bunch of laughing, weird creature gnome noises as I can be, I guess. I pieced together the good takes from the recordings of everyone into the timeline. Oh yeah, I found it was quite surprisingly long. It was like over a minute, and it was quite a long time with no real music, so I figured it should have some kind of like little background thinking kind of music. In a previous video we used some music from The Sims to kind of fulfill that role, and it worked quite well. This time I don't really remember why I decided to just fine, I'll do it myself, but I did, and then I came up with the idea of working in the videos on my hard drive theme, Sweet Release. I'm gonna be honest, I love that stuff when like a theme gets reused in a fun and interesting way, and I like that my song Sweet Release is effectively just the videos on my hard drive theme at this point, and it was really cute that you guys noticed that in the background, so hell yeah. I even recorded a bunch of sound effects. I think the footsteps are just sort of me tapping my desk. I don't know, I basically just thought up on the spot what to do with some of the things I hadn't really planned for. And I think the most annoying part really was tinkering with the color values and the brightness, because they were kind of inconsistent between shots. They're still not great, but oh well, I think it's okay. And also at the end of the day, you know, this exists as an intro to a whole big video, so it's fine if like it's a bit rough. It doesn't even need to be there, you know? It just adds some personality. But I really do enjoy making these intros because like it makes videos on my hard drive feel like kind of a special seminal moment for the channel whenever it comes out. It's been lovely seeing the appreciation this has got. I'm very glad you've all enjoyed this fun little intro we did. And the whole of videos on my hard drive 13. Thank you for watching, everyone. I and we are glad that you enjoy the silly little things we do and have fun making, and you have fun watching, and yay. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.